Welcome to the Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. I'm Maria Cribbs.
And I am Josh Cribbs. Welcome.
Hey.
It's the Return.
Take these off real fast. Viewers, how y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
It's March, Aries season. I just want to go ahead and throw out there that your girl's birthday coming up, baby.
Coming up. I got my crosses out. You know how when you get an omen or whatever, when the Antichrist.
So look, really not like you gonna perform exorcism on me?
I'm just playing.
So look, I had plans to go to one of my favorite cities. I already told you guys a few weeks ago what that was. That was Philadelphia. But my mom texted me and said it's gonna be cold on my birthday.
It's okay.
I know. I want to have some of those 70-degree days though. You know? It was windy last night too. You hear that wind?
Yeah, it was. I think it's anytime it rain like it's doing now, and then the rain and the wind that brings in a front, either a hot front or a cold front. So it might be a little chilly.
It's sunny, but I'm glad it wasn't any snow with that wind. But I will say this. You know, we take our son to school every morning down in Akron. When I'm noticing the weather changing, it's always sunny down in Akron, Josh.
Really?
It's not as cloudy. Maybe it has to do with the lake being
I'm not moving to Akron.
No, I'm not saying you got to move to Akron. I mean, it's still Northeast Ohio, but I'm just saying.
You more likely to get me back in Kent than Akron. You feel me?
Oh, is it got something to do with the zips?
Yeah, I just... I've been around them enough.
Don't hate though, because the zips, the zips, they still in that thing.
I'm hating it.
Hey, as you ain't in that thing.
I am hating. I want to throw a dirt ball at you right now for saying, "Kids, you ain't in that thing."
Hold on. So when we was watching the Akron,
yeah, we went to the game.
We went to the Kent and they played Michigan.
I went
some
two
Michigan
nights.
team.
Western Michigan.
They
beat Western Michigan the first night.
Right.
And then the next night I returned and they lost a hard-fought battle game to Miami of Ohio.
Miami of Ohio.
Yes.
And so then Miami went on to face Akron.
And then Miami was whooping them by double digits mostly the entire game.
But I told you, I said they're going to come back.
Watch this. Ryan, why was Maria rooting for Akron?
What's wrong with that?
To come back. I was like, hey, whoa.
So you wanted Miami?
We watching the game.
Oh, yeah. Isn't Kent rivals with Akron?
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Exactly.
That's kind of crazy.
Yes. So I'm like, whoa, you want Akron to win? I'd rather Miami of Ohio to win. That's like...
Who do you know down in Miami of Ohio?
That's like the AFC North are playing, and you're rooting for the Steelers.
Our son goes to school
I'd rather you root for the Bengals or the Ravens. I don't like it, but don't root for the Steelers.
I was going to give you
Don't root for the Zipperoos.
I was going to give you an opportunity on our show this afternoon to wish Akron luck. And you're not going to do that because Kent State and Akron University are rivals?
My bad. I'll wish them luck. My bad.
When they play, Ryan, you know?
Yeah, they play on Friday. They play Arizona in the first round.
Okay,
this is me wishing the Zips.
I wish you could zoom in on that face.
Luck in the tournament.
You got Kent State's very own Josh Cribbs wishing the Akron Zips good luck this Friday against who? Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Them boys. And okay, is this true? They said they have like a $2 million $1 million
NIL team. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's why.
And it was like an Akron alumni that put that money up, right?
Yeah, Hoban alumni too.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Okay, but Josh, he said something about some dog.
Yeah, we have a dog.
Yeah,
and sometimes it get rough. Ryan always talks about how he gotta go to the pound.
We gotta put him down.
Every time she get mad, we gotta put him down.
Need to get euthanized.
Like he's a puppy. Check this video out.
What video you got? No, you, Josh, are you kidding me? Don't get no dog. That ain't worth it. Cause this dog definitely ain't. All dogs don't go to heaven. Cause if he going to heaven, I'm definitely gonna be in there.
Y'all both going to hell. You ain't got to worry about it.
So what happened? First of all, I'm in my PJs. Guys, goodness, Josh, can you give me a heads up?
Ryan, listen to this
Ryan,
girl.
those are
what
my
happened.
sexy PJs. Let
me say this. I come home in the middle of the day. The door is wide open. No one is there. And I see in the floor. Not only do I see a big pile of horse stuff in the floor.
That's what it looked like.
It's droppings all on the carpet.
Ew.
And then it's a trail up the steps.
Oh, jeez.
And no one's home. So I'm like, Maria done abandoned the house. It got too far and she done abandoned the house.
This is what happened, Ryan. I was like, why the dog looking at me strange? He came up to me with this sad face, and I'm just like, oh, he wants to play. I gave him a hug and kiss. Then I started smelling this scent. I said, no, you didn't. So then he ran. I started screaming at him. He ran. I didn't realize I'm stepping in the stuff the entire time by the front door. So I run him back upstairs to our son's room where his kennel's at to put him in there. Once I turn around, I realize I've stepped in some dog mess
and tracked it
all the way up the stairs.
Oh, so it was you.
It was. I mean, but it was the
he
dog.
He used the bathroom at the door. He can't say, "Hey, I gotta go out."
Yes, he can.
He will go stand by the door.
Rough.
And Maria
has to,
or whoever's around, we gotta understand. Hey, the dog gotta use the bathroom. Ryan, he at the door, standing and chilling at the door, like.
Ryan, we have this bail that we're trying to train him to use.
He's not there yet.
He's
not there yet. Anyway.
No, it's not no anyway, Josh. We got to get rid of the dog.
We ain't getting rid of the dog.
So the thing is, I got so flustered, Ryan.
If I didn't like the dog, we couldn't get rid of it.
I didn't lock the doors. I didn't close the garage. I just left the house. I had to go get cleaning supplies.
Left. I thought it was some.
I'm done with this.
Look, I thought it was some foul play. I was like,
I left the house. I fled the scene.
She's gone. I looked in the car. I'm like, they done stole the car too. I'm like, it's some big pile of crap. No way Maria leaves this. It's about to go down.
He called me like, where are you? I was like, at Giant Eagle getting some cleaning supplies.
I'm like, young, you got to be crazy.
We're
leaving
saying
the house
all
unattended.
this to say
what are we
that
saying?
If any family's looking for a 5-month-old
negative
Doberman, we will be willing to pay you to take him off our hands.
Definitely
and with that being said, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show, The Return. I have to bring on a friend of the show, Browns legend. Let me see, Hall of Fame nominee. Just like myself, I had to throw that in there. But friend of the show, Eric Metcalf, welcome back to the show.
Hey, brother, thanks for having me.
Man,
you had to throw that in.
Yes,
you gotta throw that.
You know we got to promote ourselves.
Right.
Come on, man. But look, man, a lot is going on as it relates to the draft. A lot of guys are doing their pro days. And things that football right now for off season is heating up. This is the time where, the fan base gets to, weigh in a lot on, who to take in the draft. And Mary Kay Cabot, beat writer for the Browns and very, highly touted as far as like getting the news, the breaking news and what's going on with the team. She had an interesting take on who the Browns should take and how they should, operate in the draft. I want you to take a look and we'll talk about it on the other end.
Cap today, and I'm going to make a trade. I'm taking Shador at number 2. I'm going to do the obvious right thing there. I'm going to take Shador and I'm going to roll with it and see how it goes. But then I'm trading back into the end of the first round with my second round pick and some other things. And I'm taking Tyler Shuck. I'm taking 2 quarterbacks in the first round. If Shador, for whatever reason, isn't exactly what you thought he was going to be, then you have someone else that you can develop and try there.
Okay, so she wants 2 quarterbacks in the first round. I can argue for and against this point, but I want to understand and I want to hear what you have to say about that first.
My first thing in what she said was, and roll with it and see how it goes. So that to me tells me that you're not really sure that this should be the pick, right? Because we're just rolling with it and trying to see how it goes.
Right.
For me, I'm thinking if I'm going to get a quarterback, I'm going to get him later, because what can a rookie quarterback come in and do with this offense? We don't have anybody to protect him. Our running game isn't stable right now. We still need probably another 1A, 1B receiver. There's so many things that we need on this team for this offense to be good, and we're to be wasting that on 2 picks. Now, I'm going to put on my GM hat.
Okay, let's hear it. Here we go.
My GM hat. Now, if everything falls like it's supposed to, I'm drafting Abdul Carter with the second pick.
Wow.
And I'm doing this because we have seen teams go in there and not be highly productive on offense, but still be able to win the Super Bowl because their defense was that strong.
Wow.
You got Myles Garrett on one end and Abdul Carter on the other, then we have the defense that can shut offenses down. We just have to go score a few points. And the defense might score some points as well. If everything doesn't fall right and I'm not able to get Abdul Carter, then I'm trading that pick back. I'm trading back, and I'm going to draft an O lineman, a left tackle who actually plays left tackle. Not somebody we play
Not
right.
somebody we moving. Right.
Not somebody we moving around. I want somebody who did it.
Wow. So you're in the camp of you want to either take a DN or trade down.
Yes.
And so you're not in the quarterback camp. You don't think the elite quarterback or the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns is in this draft?
I'm not saying I don't think he's there. I'm saying I don't think he turns it around right now. With this defense and the people that we have, you can win football games with a veteran quarterback.
Okay.
I think we have to build this team with someone who can go out there and manage the position more so than trying to get a Jaden McDaniel.
Right.
Or Jaden Daniels, rather.
Yes.
I'm more than trying to do that. I think we build the whole team instead of trying to get one player to come in and resurrect the franchise.
Okay. So before I let Ryan chime in, I'm going to put on my GM hat first. I'm going to go in reverse. I feel I was in the camp of originally trading down for more picks. I like the idea of getting a plethora of guys, like you said, Matt, to bolster up the offensive line, bolster up the defense, because that wins games. That validity and having the strong foundation of guys and still have the chance to get to the Super Bowl like other teams have, and not rely on a QB savior like we normally always do here in Cleveland when we have a bad year. And this is the problem. And I kept saying this. Everyone knows that those list of names on the quarterback jersey that has been getting longer and longer throughout the years. And I'm afraid to have Cam or Shedeur Sanders be added to that list of names. Now, I would, in this, I know, as the draft approaches, our mind changes. I remember Ryan's mind changed. I remember, for the instance, my mind changed. I was thinking, let's take a quarterback. As I see, more footage of these guys, I'm thinking, these guys can sit and still be healthy and still, produce for this team like Baker Mayfield did, Matt. He set first. Tyrod Taylor was a starting quarterback, and then Baker took over. And that's what I'm thinking, maybe the way we do it here with the Browns. However, I disagree only with Mary Kay in this, because taking two quarterbacks, now why do you have a potential? You have Kenny Pickett on the roster, supposed to to compete. Now you already made that move, to then pick and draft two quarterbacks. So that makes that move seem a little silly, knowing you're still in the veteran quarterback market. We were attempting and trying hard to get a Kirk Cousins. That didn't go well. Atlanta decided to keep him. Now, there's talks. We're trying to get Flacco. We're trying to get Russ. We're trying to get any other veteran QB to have compete with Kenny Pickett. And we still have Deshaun Watson on the roster, who has guaranteed money. So keeping that in mind, having two rookie quarterbacks may not be the answer, and it may get you fired, wasting that many picks. I think if they were to take a pick at number 2, it's all or nothing. That has to be your guy, or there may be a regime change. The only thing that may save the regime, and Ryan, you can give me your 2 cents on this as well, is if they don't pick a quarterback at number 2 and they go the veteran route. That may buy this regime more time, to see if there's another elite quarterback in a year to come. So I'll give it to you, Ryan, from there. This statement that Mary Kay Cabot said, 2 quarterbacks should be taken. What say you, Ryan?
I mean, I guess it depends. What do you want to do? Do you want to build the Browns' future? Or do you want to draft to save your job? Because if you want to draft to save your job, yeah, sure, Abdul Carter's the better pick there possibly. But if you're actually building a future, then I would go Shedeur Sanders at number 2, assuming Cam Ward at 1 is gone. Abdul Carter, don't get me wrong, would make Myles Garrett's life a whole lot easier. But I'll go as far as saying, what would make it even easier? If you get a quarterback that can score points and be on the field for more than 3 plays every drive. That'll make Myles' life a whole lot easier than if you draft Abdul Carter. Shedeur Sanders might not be the answer, but you got to put on your pants before you put on your shoes, okay? You see what the Bengals are doing with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You can limit them. You can't stop them. So as much as you limit them, you still got to score your own points.
Right.
And you're not doing that without a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, it might not be pretty next year. No rookie quarterback usually is. Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, the anomaly. But you got to get a guy in there, even if it's 2-3 years, it takes him to hit his stride, to actually have a chance to compete with the Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows, the Lamar Jacksons. You look at the quarterbacks just in our division.
Right.
You have to compete with those. You're not doing it. I don't care how good your defense is. You're not doing it in today's day and age without scoring points, and it starts with the quarterback.
Right. Now,
So can I ask you a question?
Yes,
So
sir.
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Is Shedeur that guy that can go out there and score points with the offense that we have right now? Is he with the current line as it sits right now and the running game as it sits right now and our receivers? Is he the guy that can go out there and score points with those teams that we're talking about? So the one thing I do agree with Mary Kay about is that we should draft a quarterback at 33. I agree with that.
just not number 2.
Just not number 2. Just not number 2. 33 is good. You can get somebody who can go in there and fill that position. We have seen teams do that. Especially if you're going the veteran route and he's going to be the backup. So that's my thinking on this.
Okay. So, all right. I have an opinion based off of that. If Shedeur Sanders could get it, but could, be that guy to win with this team. But I'm going to tell you after this commercial break, stick around. Eric Metcalf will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to The Return. And we're here with Browns legend, Hall of Fame nominee, Eric Metcalf, and we're discussing Mary Kay Cabot's comments, taking 2 quarterbacks. I'm going to go ahead and, answer your question, Eric. You told me, can Shedeur win with what we have now? No, we have a lot of picks in this draft. We have opportunity to possibly trade next year's picks to assure the future that Myles Garrett wanted when he signed that contract. Maybe there was something behind closed doors where Andrew Berry turned to Myles Garrett and he said, I'm going to build it this year. I'm going to make sure within the next 2 years, this year too, that we have a team viable enough to go to the Super Bowl, at least on paper. And he strengthened up the defensive line already. We have a pick that we free agent acquisition. I forgot the kid's name, but he was just interviewed to play opposite Myles Garrett. That's the reason why he came here. So they're making certain moves to shore up our defense. Re-signing DBs, linebackers, and what have you. Is there more pieces to the puzzle that's needed? Yes, of course. Did they need to go get a couple offensive linemen? Yes. A running back. Let's get somebody. Trade up and do what you have to do to get their future solidified now. They can give up draft capital to a team who doesn't need much now, but may in the future, and really make a run here with what they have and give Shedeur or these veteran transition quarterbacks the best opportunity to where late in the year, we have a run. We have an opportunity where one of these quarterbacks can pull a Flacco. Now, I think that whole era is not obtainable to repeat itself, but we have they have an opportunity to have that repeat itself to put us in a position to get in the playoffs. I won't want to say Super Bowl and all of that. Get us in a position to get to the playoffs, and then from there, we'll see what your roster is made of. You hear what I'm saying? I understand the notion that Mary Kay Cabot was saying. If quarterback is so important to us, get your guys. Make sure that one of these guys it. The problem is if you do that and it's not it, you're gone. You got to go. If you're a general manager, if you pick 2 quarterbacks and then you got a Kenny Pickett on your roster and then a Deshaun Watson on and none of these guys are it, you got to go. It's just right. Am I wrong? If you pick 2 quarterbacks, you're gone. Right? So that really puts this team and this organization in a bind to pick 2 quarterbacks. I like the notion, though, because if you need it, you got to go get it, right? That's why we picked Baker at number 1. If we need that guy, if we feel like it's Shedeur, you got to go get him. If you feel like it's Cam, you might have to trade up 1 pick and give up Kenny Pickett and get Cam, if that's who you want. So you don't like Cam, because I don't mind both. I like them both. So you don't like Cam then? at all.
No, it's not that I don't like them. I just
you don't want a quarterback. Okay.
Yeah, I just do not want to go get a quarterback there. Get him later. Get him later. There's viable guys you can get later. And you can win games with the Kenny Pickett if provided that the play calling's on point. We're not.
That's another animal. That's another animal.
About that part.
And that's another animal.
Right, that is. And so I want to shore up this defense. Shore up this defense with an Abdul Carter. And like I said, and if he's not there, help the offensive line by getting a true offensive left offensive tackle. That's what I'm stuck with that. And that's how I go with my GM hat. So, give me the job. Give me the job.
So give him the job. Ryan, he wants to trade down. He wants to take a quarterback a little late. You heard what he said. You're the GM. What are the moves that the Brown needs to make, to kind of fill out the offense and defense? I felt, too early on, Ryan, that trade away. Let's do something more with that number 1 pick and possibly get, a quarterback later on, but not so much now. I think I'm more so in the camp of take a quarterback now. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to me, you're at the number 2 spot for a reason. It's because you didn't have a viable quarterback whatsoever on your roster. And I understand. That goes back to my point of, are you building for the Browns' future, or are you trying to save your job and get more wins now? More wins sounds attractive, I get it, but at the end of the day, it takes time to build a little bit. But even going back to Jaden Daniels, I'm not comparing Shedeur Sanders to Jaden Daniels by any means, but nobody thought he was going to do. Nobody thought C.J. Stroud was going to go to the playoffs in his first year. You look at the Commanders, you were horrible that year. You traded your best player at the deadline in Montez Sweat on defense. I honestly think if you don't think Shedeur Sanders can win now, it's honestly more of a statement on Kevin Stefanski, in my opinion, because I think Shedeur Sanders is at the spot. He's high projected for a reason. You've seen what he's done in college, both programs. I think if you don't think that Shedeur Sanders can come in here and win, it's either you're questioning his talent or more so Kevin Stefanski.
I think that's what Eric Metcalf is also alluding to, that we may not have. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Go ahead.
He said, go ahead. I think he's saying if we get a top quarterback, we may not have the firepower and the offensive coordinator to sustain that. And we might burn that talent. However, I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. They have a pro day coming up. They supposed to work out today. They're probably working out now, getting ready to work out. Eric, you had a pro day. You didn't work out, I don't think. You said they seen you already. I think you were more in the camp of, I'm him. Eric Metcalf was like, I'm him. Y'all saw me already. Who gonna take me? Offers up. Auction is here. Take me. So do you think, and I'm gonna ask you first, Eric, and then Ryan, do you think that the pro day will help hurt any one of these guys coming out of Colorado, Shedeur or any one of them?
See, I don't know how it can really help them at this point. If you're talking about them being the number 1 and 2 pick, what can they do different that changes everyone's mind, right?
Right.
The only thing they can do is change their mind as to whether they should get them that high. And so that was my mindset when Pro Day came my way during that time. I'm projected to go in the first round. I'm 5'10", 182 pounds. I'm not lifting weights. If I go out there and I don't run fast or fast as they think, or I don't do these drills as fast as they want me to, then what? How do they treat me?
Right.
Do they say, oh, he's not as fast as we thought he was, and he's small. Now let's take him in the second round. Absolutely not. I'm not giving you that shot. I'm going with, you've already projected that I'm going in the first round based on what you've seen me do.
Yes.
At the combine and on film. I'm not doing anything to harm that.
Right. Ryan, Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, pro day, help or hurt?
It doesn't hurt him at all. I don't think in this day and age, they don't really care. It's different, like Eric said, you're projected 1-2 top pick already. It'd be different, for instance, Jalen Milroe. They want to see his 40 time. That's the best part about him, is that he's super mobile. For guys like Shedeur, that doesn't really matter. Obviously, it matters to a point, but that's not exactly what these scouts are looking at, right? Maybe if you're for instance, if you're a DB, right? You want to run your 40, they want to see if you can play man and zone, right? For guys like Shedeur Cam, already projected, I don't blame him for not working out. And anything, you go to your pro day, and like Shedeur said, he wants to go help his guys stock. Guys like Jimmy Horn at their pro day and throw with them. So I think in today's day and age, it has no effect on their draft stock.
Right. I can agree to that. If the draft was today, those guys would still go 1 and 2. And Travis Hunter will still he'll follow that. So, and I think differently now that you said that. I used to be like, that guy Eric Metcalf. He's quite the showboat. He's quite the showboat, him and his cigar. Because when you told the story on the... So, Eric, and real quick before we let you go, Eric has his own line of cigars, Ryan. And he told the story on the cruise of how, he was the guy. So he didn't participate in all that extracurricular before draft, combine type stuff. Hey, I'm Eric Metcalf, man. He showed up like, $1 million and didn't do anything. I think differently now, though.
It wasn't like I'm Eric Metcalf. It was like, I'm not going to hurt Eric Metcalf's draft stock. I'm not going to hurt it. And so, I went to the combine. They asked me to lift weights. No. Because at 182,
I ain't going to lift a lot of them.
On my best day, on my best day, I might have done 225, maybe 10 times.
Right.
But what if it was my worst day?
Right. They'd be like, oh, he's so weak. He's so weak.
He's 182. And this guy
You're
came
right.
up and ran 4.6.
Oh, man, they definitely would have hurt you. Browns legend, Eric Metcalf, thank you for joining us. You're always welcome on The Return.
Thanks, brother. I hope to return.
Yes, there you go. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. Now, Eric Metcalf, he has some amazing points.
Yeah, he do.
Especially about pro day and not participating in pro day.
Well, I always, when he would tell that story, Ryan, I'd be like, yeah, he was one of them. One of them guys highly touted coming out, and he could afford it not to take it. But in this, he would have flourished in this NFL, in this climate, because guys who are at the top level, they don't need it. They absolutely don't need to participate in the combines, because they force the scouts to look at what I did on the field.
Right.
Go by what you saw on the film. And that's how it works. And then I kind of I can understand his points as it relates to, because we don't know what the Browns going to do. We don't know the correct path. All we can do is surmise and make educated opinions based off of what we saw the Browns do and what is out there.
Right.
So whether they draft at number 2, whether they trade down, whether they take that 33rd, I mean, we don't know how it's going to happen. The result of that will play out in the fall.
But when it comes to what Mary Kay Cabot said as far as drafting 2 QBs, will we be able to afford them? Because if you're taking 2, she was saying taking 2 QBs in the first round.
Right, and they're rookies.
What does that mean? They still got to get their payday, right?
I mean, they're going to get some money, but it is a cap. So they changed that in the collective bargaining agreement, when usually they could pay these guys so much money, more than veterans.
Oh, rookies?
But they don't make as much as they used to.
Oh, I didn't know
as it relates to, not that they're
they
getting.
would come in and get paid.
Nah, not that they're getting. Their second contract will be the big money.
Right,
this
right.
contract will be first round money.
You got to prove yourself first.
Somewhat, but it'd be first round money. And it's just
give
not
me an
going to.
example. Okay,
it's
somebody
not
give me.
going to be your franchise tag.
I'm a visual
That's
person.
your example.
Ryan, Josh, somebody
it's not
give me an
going to be
example of first round
guaranteed money.
How much should Shador, if he were to come to the Browns, how much should we be expecting to, pay him?
I would say, it'd be basic of as it relates to the rest of the NFL. They'll see their agent will wait until they see what Cam got.
Oh yeah.
And vice versa. And if Cam gets less, he'll say Cam get 10 million or something like that. Just throw that out there. Then Shador probably will get 9.5.
Okay, just
9.
slightly. Right.
Say Shador gets 10 million, Cam will probably negotiate 11, being their number 1 pick, something like that. So they'll tailor each other's picks.
And you're saying pro day going on right now?
Yeah, and differently. Kent State just had their pro day a couple days ago.
What do you mean Kent State?
Kent State, every
They
college
host a pro
has
day?
they host a pro day. They host their own pro days. Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
Colorado is hosting their pro day today.
Because I was wondering why I saw a video with David Njoku
Right.
and Cam Ward together. You see that, Ryan?
That's at the facility.
What was it?
Yeah.
That was at the facility.
Cam Ward and it
and
was a video
Joku.
of David and Njoku.
Both
and I was
Miami
like,
Hurricanes.
oh.
The U.
Oh, okay.
They from the U.
I said,
And
what he doing here?
they're on their visits.
Oh, okay.
So
Just
every
some subliminals.
I know it's just a normal visit.
Oh, okay.
And they both graduates of the U, Miami Hurricanes. So he has some, I'm not saying that he's advocating for him, but that's his former teammate. Not that they played together, but that's his, went to
from
his
same
alumni.
university, right?
Right. So he got love for him, just like anybody play at KSU. All my KSU fam,
I feel like everybody need to slow down though, because you said it was a video of Deshaun Watson working out.
Yeah,
He
it
coming
was.
back.
But
He said, y'all not getting rid of me that easily.
Yeah, and you guys go online and check that video out. How does that make we kind of breeze over it a little bit. A video of him as highlight of his workouts, right? His training.
Okay.
Does that make? I know how Ryan feels already. Does that make you feel like he maybe have a shot to come back in a battle sometime next year?
I mean, listen, I appreciate seeing Deshaun putting in the work. I'm not going to question his ethic. I'm not going to question his will to come back to football. I'm not going to question his integrity to continue being a player of the Browns. Like, that's not my job. I'm not going to do that because I don't know him personally. But Deshaun Watson is not playing football for the Cleveland Browns. He'll be on the team. I don't know when he's going to be healthy, but his shot here in Cleveland is over. I would make such a large amount wager Deshaun Watson is not starting another game for the Cleveland Browns in the rest of his career. There's just, I don't think, any shot.
All right, so we're going to take that, Maria, and we're going to clip it. So if he's back in this uniform and he's balling, I'm not saying that he wouldn't, but if that happens,
Do they
okay.
still put
He might end up
the
getting
verbiage
traded.
in your contract
No
to where
no trade clause,
where technically they wait for you to get healthy.
and then they cut
They
you.
put you on the field.
He has guaranteed money, Maria.
Oh, so then
Like, if they were going to cut him, they would have severanced him already, meaning they would have gave him a buyout.
So then why not?
What?
Why have they have not done it already?
Because
if I don't
you're
think he's
still
going to come
paying
back ever.
$128 million.
For you, but if you're not going to play, why
That's
would I
why
waste
I
your
don't-
time?
I
having
don't
you
agree
show
with
up?
Ryan.
The reason why is
Yeah.
because if you were to cut him, then you'd have to give him all that money right now. And it would
so
you
they
can't
stretch it
because
out.
because you could technically do it, but then you wouldn't have we wouldn't have the money to extend Miles. We wouldn't have the money to build a competitive team. That's why he's still on the team.
There
That's
you
like
go.
back in the day when you would go to like Kohl's and you got to put stuff on layaway. You got to just stretch it out and then come
So
back. And get it. So you
he's
gotta
on
pay,
layaway.
He's like on a payment plan.
Right.
Like
We're on a payment plan.
Yeah.
That's how contracts work, though. You don't get all that up front. You're on a payment plan.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So I feel
layaway.
you.
Layaway.
All right. So I got some things I want to discuss.
Let's do it.
Josh.
Let's
All right,
do it.
guys. Don't go anywhere though. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to The Return with Josh and Maria Cribbs. Now, Josh, it was getting spicy on The Breakfast Club.
Yes,
Now,
it was.
I will say this. I try to watch The Breakfast Club, but we don't get for some reason, that 106.1 in the Cleveland area, that station's real choppy. So when I'm driving down to Akron, I can't tune in every morning. So I prefer, I listen to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, But Jess Hilarious, comedian Jess Hilarious, who I would say her rise to fame came from social media. Would you not say?
Right.
She's a
Absolutely.
comedian. Now she's
Absolutely.
turned into a personality. And when Angela Yee was leaving the Breakfast Club, I'm filling you all in, there was a spot open. They had several personalities, stand in and fill in the spot. And Jess Hilarious won the spot, okay? Then I was listening and I'm like, wait a minute, where'd Jess go? She got pregnant, right?
Right.
Maternity leave, okay? So she takes out, and some other lady named, what's her name?
Lauren
LaRosa fills in. And I know when I was listening
And
to a couple
she's a
times, I'm like, she's
producer.
good. Yeah.
Lauren LaRosa is a producer
Right.
on the show.
Right. So then fast forward. Now, how would you feel? Fast forward, you come back. You're just hilarious. You come back from maternity leave. And then you thinking, okay, since Lauren filled in for you, I'm back. Lauren, you go back to wherever you was before I came here.
And Lauren
She's still there.
And Lauren is Jess Hilarious is Drew Bledsoe, and Lauren is guess who?
Okay, he's giving it to the Oh, that's
Who is
hold on, Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady. Tom Brady, right? So
Tom Brady done took your spot.
do you think we would even be talking about this if it weren't for comedian? What's his name? Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb.
Okay, why?
I think it still would be. I think.
Remember her beefing or something? They said it's been going on for like years. They have been beefing with each other.
But
he goes on some podcast talking about how Jess hilarious, the other girl's better. Which I feel like everybody has their, that's your opinion. La Rosa does a very good job at what she does, and Jess got hired to do I would say comedic relief. Also, her commentary on hot topics. So she's good at what she does.
Right. So
why compare them? Why can't they both exist?
I agree.
He was going.
I agree. He was going in, and Jess Hilarious watched it.
Yeah.
And she felt some type of way.
Yeah.
Ryan, for everyone not sticking up for her that's on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy.
Right.
She but videoed herself.
She went live.
And she went live and basically was like, I'm appalled, or I'm against the guys who are there not stepping up for me, not putting all that to the beds, like basically saying, man, she our girl, she gonna be the star here, and that's it.
Yeah.
But she wanted them to come to her defense, and they didn't. So she said something. So then now she's back on the show with the girl Lauren, and Lauren
who's
was
the producer of the show,
right? So Ryan, the girl, she did so good. They have a segment for her on the show,
and Jess is
back.
But Jess's issue was, why is her segment?
Why she still here?
Why am I introducing? Because Jess had Jess with the mess, which. What do you mean?
Jess with
it's
the
not
mess.
Why she's still here. I think is okay. So
she thought she was the only.
Hold on.
Other
Jess
person.
had Jess with the mess.
Jess with the mess.
So then she would introduce Jess with the mess, but then you would hear Lauren's segment from out of there.
Right.
And so basically, just
like
give her her own segment. What are we
right.
doing here? And I think that comes to, and I will say this: me and you've been in television for a while now. I think that comes to if Jess would have started that show from its conception, like she was the original host with DJ and Envy and everyone, I would feel like you would feel like, okay, this is my show. I get to call some shots around here.
Right.
That show, The Breakfast Club, has already been established.
Right.
You're someone who got hired in because someone else left.
Correct.
I don't feel like it would. I wouldn't feel like they would be loyal to me when these are already established relationships with the producers and the executives and things like that.
Right. You just
I
another
do understand
person.
what Jess is saying though.
Right.
If something changed to when I left, and she came in and did a hell of a job, and y'all like her here, and you want me here too, let's have a conversation.
Now,
don't just keep having her come on the show and we just sitting around like.
Is that fair?
Have a conversation.
Is that
what
fair though? Because it's not the NFL.
What do you mean?
It's not like they're performing. I guess so, right? So Ryan, how would you feel on air, right? You take a break, for a few weeks, you get your appendix or something like that. Let's just.
Dang, not the appendix.
I mean, something non-life threatening,
sure.
and that's typical, right? And
somebody
fills in for you, and then when you come back, now that person who filled in is sitting up there and has a job that's definite on the show.
Every show he's still there,
or you sitting up there
and no
he's still producing,
and no one said anything to you about when he's leaving. He's just still being every show. He's just still here, and
you're
like,
guy that the Cribs got is real good.
Here's my first question: Am I still getting paid the same amount?
Oh,
and do I have to do less work?
Period.
Because I'd understand though, from the standpoint, if that's your career and you're trying to make a name for yourself, you want the airtime, you want the ability to clip stuff, you want the ability to show your portfolio. Then I would be a little bit upset. But I mean, if I'm working less, making the same amount of money, I might not be too upset.
And that's a good way to look at it. However, she was salty, and the rest of the guests, DJ Envy, was like, "Hey, don't be coming on here listening to what the internet's saying. You out there getting salty and in your feelings
from the internet. So
you out there getting salty and in your feelings about what the internet talking about. We ain't the internet in here." And that was their response. Like, why you listening to them? Like, why do we have to respond to what the internet talking about?
But she got her start from the internet. So, of course, her community, if you see people making comments about, oh, you're doing a great job, or, oh, La Rosa's killing you, they need to replace her with, you or her, you will be in your emotions about that. And I will say, Jess Hilarious just had a baby. You don't never know someone. I'm not saying postpartum, but when those hormones, I think when we had our kid, they said you at least got a year till your hormones regulate. She might be extra sensitive. She might be feeling some kind of way. Yeah.
Because I think that if a man said that, we would be out of line.
True.
We'd be out of bounds if a man said, because you had a baby, Maria. That's why I'm saying it, and you understand it. But if I said it, it'd be like, how dare he? He didn't give birth to a child. How dare he talk about postpartum? So maybe, she is going through something, and that leads me to believe that you feel like she tripping.
No, I just feel I'm just saying
that she need to handle it a little better.
No, I think that when you come into a show that's already established and you feel like there's some type of loyalty there, don't get fooled. It's a business. They will get rid of you in a New York minute. I don't know if she's familiar with Wendy Williams, but Wendy Williams always said herself in her purple chair, "Don't ever let nobody feel in for you because that's going to be a replacement."
There you go.
That's what's happening right here. But I will say this. I didn't like the clips. I don't watch the Breakfast Club that much of her telling Jess Hilarious telling La Rosa to hush, be quiet, and shut up sometimes. I don't think an adult should be telling another adult to shut up. And she said, it's because she talk too much. She always over talking people. La Rosa had a point when she said, my own mama don't even tell me to shut up.
Right.
So I feel like it's a toxic, it seems like it's a toxic environment. You would want to think co-hosts and producers get along, and that's just not the case. But I think the whole scene should have been handled off camera because it was kind of messy. But then that's the Breakfast Club. So look, we got more show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Return. Now, Josh.
Yeah, that was a lot with the Breakfast Club and going through that.
I hated to see that.
Yeah, because it seemed like it's a fracture now.
But what's up with Corey Holcomb? No, I understand. I guess him and Jess Hilarious have some type of beef.
He probably wanted a job,
but
man.
I don't find him funny. And I don't understand why
he has a different type of humor.
No, it's not humorous
at all.
It is,
because some of the stuff he says is so outlandish. It's like, oh, man, did you hear what he just said? So he has his audience, and it is what it is.
I just hate the fact that he had to come at her like that. But I don't know if her history of, maybe she has thrown shots at him before in the past too. But it just sparked the,
everybody throwing
two
shots.
Women against each other like that.
But everybody throwing shots, man. You see what Mariah Carey did, throwing shots and shade.
Mariah Carey just looked to the now. Do y'all think that's shady? There's a video going on. It's going around of Mariah Carey, which they gave her, I think, the Icon Award from the iHeartRadio Music Awards, right? And then songwriter and singer Money Long, she did her tribute. And everybody said, when the camera glanced over Mariah Carey, she was looking like she wasn't impressed by the tribute.
She felt like Money Long was not hitting those notes.
You don't know how she felt.
She
just kind of glanced.
She felt some type of way. She was like, when Money Long hit a note, Mariah was like, oh, you hear that? That's not my song. You're butchering my song. Those are the words that matched her looks. I think knowing the camera is on you, why? Come on, Mariah, you are iconic. Mariah is an iconic singer, will go down as a legend in this game. A Hall of Famer for real, because nobody really can hit the high note. It's hard.
I don't think she was looking, trying to look in disgust because
Mariah
Money Long came out and said Mariah
I love Mariah, but she know what she's doing.
Mariah handpicked her to perform that tribute. So.
And look, Money Long sings and stays in her own octave, which I think is a lower octave. Yours,
she wrote some songs,
mine, ours. I can do this for hours.
Yeah, that was Josh's song. Playing in a heavy rotation. How much time we got left, Ryan?
Yeah. We got 3 minutes.
We got 3 minutes left. So I want to tell the viewers, Josh did one of my moves this week. Tell them what you did this week. Where was you at?
I needed my locks maintained and maintained. So I
where'd you
researched a loctician, a master loctician, and I went to Houston to get my hair maintained. And
Bougie.
I sat in a chair. I'm not bougie. This is my crown. This is my brand. A lot of times people know me for my locks. I don't want to be like Hester. I don't want to be like the other guys who played with their locks and then they cut them off and now they're a different person. At least in my eyes, they're fine with it.
You didn't want to let them go?
I didn't want to let them go. I don't want to let them go. So I'm gonna do everything I have to do to keep them healthy, nourished, and flowing.
Well, you should have been doing that in the first place. If you listened to your wife, they wouldn't have been thinning like that, right?
I don't always listen. And I get that. But
I
went to Houston. I pulled a Maria on Maria. I'm like, I'm headed to Houston. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Speaking of Houston, we have a problem.
Match my hands, I think her name is.
SpaceX 9. Now, let me tell y'all.
How much time we got, Ryan?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Go ahead.
After what, 9 months of them being... Wasn't it like an 8-day? Supposed to be
10 days.
Supposed to be a 10-day, also say excursion.
A
10-day mission. It was definitely not an excursion. A 10-day mission turned into what, a little over 9 months?
That's
And to witness them come back, Josh, can I just say, I didn't watch it on TV. I went to NASA's website and watched them live stream it, just hearing
look at you.
I know, but it was,
She love Houston.
That was really
Houston,
cool.
we have a problem.
That was really cool. But one thing I wanted to ask, my uncle brought up a good point. When they were having that, whoever's coming back and forth giving them supplies, I was like, how were they getting food and all
I think that
stuff?
was an unmanned vessel.
I was like, why do you say hop in with them?
Hopping into
Yeah, like, hey, come get me up out of
it
here.
was
and then the one lady, she
it
has
splashed
kids.
down.
Could you imagine
They
thinking you're going to
discarded
be
it.
back in, like, you said 10 days, 9 days?
10, I think.
Yeah,
10
Maria, if
days.
you was an astronaut and you were there, you supposed to be gone 10 days, and it was not. That's equivalent to jail or being in a coma. Anything goes. Like
Josh be
I
up
don't think.
there for 9 months.
Yeah, you're out. You're
You be like,
gone.
well, we got a new family member, Maria. You got to,
I'm like, meet my family. This is you can be like, you got 3 kids, and they 10, 11, and 12. I've been up there 9 months.
I got bored up there in the stars.
I work fast.
No, I thought that was cool though, but I was really inspired to watch it. Watch it land and watch the rescue ship come and get them. That was really cool.
Important.
I have to say again, Akron Zips. I hope you do your thing.
What?
On Friday.
Hold on, Scratch. What? We're gonna have to call security in here. Don't be zipping it out here.
Ryan, you went to Cincinnati. Is it okay to say go Zips?
That's not your.
Not for me.
that's
I mean,
not
I
his
don't.
Bible.
I can say it, but I wouldn't. Like, that'd be like me saying go Xavier.
Oh,
Hell no.
Exactly. That'd be like me saying go Steelers.
okay. Well, you got a point
That
there.
didn't
You
even
got a
feel
point
good
there.
coming off my
Cavs still
tongue.
killing it. I seen the Guardians playing too, y'all.
The Cavs lost 3 in a row.
No, they did.
They lost 3 in a row.
But it's
They
okay.
still good.
It's okay.
They still good.
All right.
So we got to get to a Cavs game.
Yeah, and we gotta go, you guys. We love you guys so much for watching. Make sure you stream us, stream all the Big Play personalities, and you're watching the Big Play Network, and you're seeing The Return with Josh Maria Cribbs. Don't go.
Peace.
Actually, don't go anywhere. Have a wonderful week.
Yeah.